Tonight, millions of Americans will open Netflix, spend 20 minutes choosing something to watch, and end up watching absolutely nothing. Why? Quick question. How long does it take you to pick a movie on Netflix? 2 minutes? 5? 20? Here's the weird part. You probably spend more time choosing the movie than actually watching the first half hour of it. And it gets weirder. You reject something because it's 2 hours long, then spend 45 minutes looking for something shorter. You read reviews for a movie you'll forget by Tuesday. You've watched every trailer, except the actual movie. The continue watching section is basically a graveyard of your commitment issues. Why does this happen? Why does it happen to you? Specifically, on a Friday night after a week where you made exactly 0 difficult decisions. Why does it happen to your roommate, your mom, literally everyone you know? Why does something that's supposed to relax you end up feeling like a part-time job? And here's the question that actually matters. Why does it keep getting worse? Here's a theory. Stick with me. Imagine your brain had a battery. Every decision you make drains it a little. What to wear, what to eat, which email to answer first, whether to like that photo or just keep scrolling. All of it costs something. For most of human history, people made maybe a few hundred decisions a day. Hunt, eat, sleep, avoid bears, clean, simple, done. Today, researchers estimate we make thousands of decisions every single day before you've even opened Netflix. So by 9 p.m., your battery isn't just low, it's blinking red. And when it runs out, you don't start making worse choices. Something stranger happens. You stop making choices at all. Psychologists actually have a name for this: decision fatigue. But here's what still doesn't add up. Decision fatigue has existed as long as humans have made decisions. So why does it feel like it's specifically Netflix? Why does opening one single app turn a normal, functional adult into someone who can't finish a sentence, let alone pick a movie? That part doesn't come from your brain alone. In 2000, 2 psychologists set up a jam tasting table in a grocery store. A jam tasting table, the most aggressively boring experiment in history, and it accidentally broke psychology. Some days they put out 24 jams, other days just 6. Then watch what happened. 24 jams, 60% of people stopped to look. Sounds like a win, but only 3% actually bought anything. 3%, 6 jams, fewer people stopped. But 30% bought something. 10 times more purchases from less choice. Think about that on your couch. Netflix has approximately 36,000 titles available in the US. 36,000. The jam table had 24. And that was enough to freeze people completely. So here's the actual question. If 24 jams can shut a grocery shopper down, what does 36,000 do to someone who's already exhausted from a full day of deciding things? Here's where this stops being a psychology lecture and starts being genuinely unsettling. Netflix's own data showed that users who couldn't find something to watch within roughly 90 seconds were significantly more likely to close the app. 90 seconds. Less time than it takes to microwave leftovers. So they had a problem. Too much content. Overwhelmed users. People leaving without watching anything. Now, to be fair to Netflix for a second, they didn't set out to exploit a psychological weakness. They set out to solve a business problem. Keep people engaged. That's a completely ordinary goal. Every company on earth has that goal. The problem is how well they solved it. Netflix built one of the most sophisticated recommendation systems ever created. It tracks what you watch, what you hover over, how long your cursor sits on a thumbnail before you move on, what you pause, what you rewind, what you watch at 2 a.m. versus what you watch on a Sunday morning. And here's the detail that gets people every time. Netflix shows different thumbnail images to different people for the exact same movie. If you watch a lot of romantic content, you might see the couple. If you watch a lot of action, you see the explosion. Same movie, different cover. Personalized based on what's statistically most likely to make you click. It was built to keep engagement high. But engagement and overwhelm turned out to be nearly the same behavior wearing different masks. Optimizing for keeps you on the app isn't the same as optimizing for helps you decide. Which brings us to the most honest 4 words on the entire platform. Are you still watching? Netflix asks you this like it genuinely doesn't know. Netflix knows. Netflix has known for 37 minutes. You haven't pressed play. You've been staring at 11 different thumbnails of the same rom-com like one of them is going to change your life. Here's the truth of a Friday night, summarized. Netflix thinks you're deciding. Your family thinks you're watching something. You are doing neither of those things. You are simply suspended in thumbnail purgatory. Here's the part that changes everything. Is Netflix actually the worst offender here? Actually, no. Amazon, 40 nearly identical phone chargers, 4,000 reviews each, and you still close the tab without buying anything. DoorDash, 60 restaurants, 60 menus, and you order the same thing you order every time, after 20 minutes of scrolling to make sure. Spotify, 100 million songs available to you right now. You replay the same 15. Tinder, more potential partners swiped in 1 hour than most humans in history ever met in a lifetime. Somehow, more alone afterward. YouTube, Instagram, Google, every single one of them running some version of the exact same experiment. Take a brain that already struggles with too many options, hand it infinite options, then optimize endlessly for the choice that keeps it scrolling. Oh no, it's not just Netflix, it's everything. And this shows up in places that actually matter, not just your watch list. Studies show that people given more retirement savings plan options are significantly less likely to sign up for any plan at all. More choice, less retirement. That's real money left on the table because a form had too many boxes. Psychologists have a name for people who always believe the perfect option exists somewhere out there. They call them maximizers. And here's the cruel part. Maximizers are objectively better at finding good options. Better purchases, better jobs, better shows, and significantly less happy than people who just pick something and stick with it. Better choices, less happiness. One of the more depressing findings in behavioral psychology. So let's be fair, one more time. The jam scientists probably hoped their findings would make companies simplify things for people. They didn't. Netflix optimized for engagement. The side effect was that it accidentally amplified a weakness your brain already had. Netflix didn't invent this weakness. It learned how to work with it. Then the rest of the internet followed. So sit with this for a second. This is the part that should actually get under your skin. When was the last time you discovered something without an algorithm putting it in front of you first? Your music? Spotify picked it. Your next movie? Netflix picked it. Your news? Whatever app you use, picked it. Your restaurant tonight? Google picked it. Even the next person you might date, an app picked that too. The algorithm isn't only choosing what you watch or eat or listen to. Little by little, it's shaping who you become. Not through force, not through some evil plan in a boardroom somewhere, just through 1,000 small, easy, optimized choices that were made for you, instead of by you. Thousands of years ago, humans hunted for food. Today, food hunts for humans. Entertainment hunts for humans. News hunts for humans. Relationships hunt for humans. Every app on your phone is competing for exactly one thing, your next decision. And the strangest part? You think you're making it. Anyway, I have to go. I've been trying to pick something to watch for the last 40 minutes. Does this sound like you? Or do you think you've figured out the scroll? Drop it in the comments. I have a feeling it's going to be painfully one-sided. Subscribe if this is the kind of thing that keeps you up at night. Choosing nothing.